So, Bob, I've heard about vibe coding, but I have no idea what it is. Can you explain that to me?
Well, it is what the cool kids do.
That's probably why I haven't heard of it. I'm not allowed.
Oh, come on. You can be a cool kid too. It's really not that hard. With vibe coding, you're basically prompting an AI system to write code for you. So you don't have to be a coder anymore. You can be a vibe coder. You can feel something, feel some vibes, and develop an application. And so what RunSignup is, it's this big application, 2,700 database tables, couple million lines of code, and it's great. However, everybody has their own itch to scratch, and they want a dashboard page that looks different, or they want a leaderboard page that looks different, or something like that, right? And so what we have done is we've opened up the RunSignup system to make it easy to vibe code with AI tools. And so what we've done is kind of 3 to 4 different major things. So the first thing that we did is we kind of have decided, at least for right now, that we're going to use v0.dev as the development tool that we'll use as an example. There are others out there. There's Lovable, there's Replit, and others, but we're just going to use v0 kind of so we can share things, and it's a pretty good tool. So a number of us inside the company have vibe coded applications, and they might be a find a race application. Soren's done a couple of result kiosk types of applications. Allison did an example donor fundraiser leaderboard application. Joel did like a ticket dashboard for haunts. So there's a number of different applications that we've built and vibe coded with this. What's cool about v0 is that you can actually share your project. So I could vibe code something, and then I could share it with you, and then you could take it and what's called fork it, and you could create your own project off of there. And so what we intend to do is create kind of a library of example applications that people can fork, and they'll be started up, and then they'll be able to fork and go off and scratch their own itch, if you will. To make that happen, to open up our system to these AI systems, there were a couple of pieces that we needed to put in place. So we have an API that has been around for a long time. It's very mature. It's very robust. You can get, information about participants and things like that. There's kind of 2 sets of APIs. One is data that's open anyway. So it's like a list of all the public races on our website. And we have a number of, partners that actually, like runningtheusa.com and halfmarathons.net and findarace.com, where they pull our API and they get a list of all the races. So that's public information. Then there's private information like participant information, and you need to secure that information. And so what we've done to make the AI systems have access to this stuff is, first, we've implemented what's called OpenAPI. OpenAPI is kind of a standard way of showing what your API does and expressing it. And that allows the AI systems to understand it very easily. So we've implemented OpenAPI wrappers to our API, if you will. The second thing we've done is we've implemented OAuth2. And what OAuth2 does is it basically allows an application to have a normal RunSignup login. So if you're putting participant information out there, somebody would have to log in and basically have race director access to that information to be able to see it. Just like any race director can go in and view participants, you will need to have that level of login authentication to get that level of information into your vibe-coded AI application. The third thing that's happening is really interesting. In November of 24, Anthropic introduced something called MCP, Model Context Protocol. And basically, it's a higher level even than OpenAPI that allows the AI systems to understand what it can do with the API even better. And so we are currently in development on that. We have some example MCPs running. So like that find a race type of MCP, we actually have that running. And what that does is it opens up to have natural language chats to the RunSignup system. So with that example of the find a race, the MCP actually pulls all the information that's publicly about that race. So you'd be able to ask via this MCP, like, what races that are in my area allow strollers and cost less than $35 this next weekend. And it will basically, the AI system will talk to our system and find those races that are out there. So if you think about, if we go back to what the announcement was, it's for vibe coding. It allows more kind of advanced users or people that are kind of cool kids to actually go and develop their own applications into the RunSignup system.
So vibe coding is using AI to look at the API to code things and fit your vibe.
Exactly.
Okay.
And while we don't expect to see a lot of people doing that initially, we think it's an important area for us to kind of be leadership on, because there are advanced users out there. There's like professionals that like timers that do stuff every weekend, and they might have, operational needs to be able to run their business better, that if they spend a little bit of time vibe coding into our system, they'll be able to improve their business. But I think the big news is that RunSignup is opening up its system to AI so that events will be able to leverage AI for their own purposes.